We now turn to our interview segment for the day, and with us in studio is Mr. Andrew Karanja, who's the director of the CIO East Africa, and is here to engage us on what is being done currently towards surveying and indeed bringing out more data on this sector and the developments towards IT and, of course, commerce. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Now, first off, I think a good place to start would be to ask exactly what exactly is CIO East Africa? Just exactly who are you?
CIO East Africa is a magazine that's published for the industry, for the IT industry, that seeks to bring leadership into IT. IT has played a vital role in our economy, and it's through this information sharing, through the magazine and events that you're about to mention, that peers and the general industry get to know who's doing what and encourage innovation. Yes.
Well, one of, I think, your most famous brands is CIO 100.
That's right.
That is what many people will indeed sort of recognize. What exactly is CIO 100?
CIO 100 is an international event which is started in the US a few years back. It has now been rolled out into other countries, such as we have CIO 100 in Canada, India. It's a platform that recognizes professionals, peers in their industry, that are doing interesting projects. Again, innovation is key in IT industry in order to stay afloat. So CIO 100 presents that forum. Again, it starts with a survey. The survey looks at what everyone is doing from across the board, from financial to manufacturing. And through that, information is gathered and a judging process takes place. Yeah.
So what exactly are the benefits of doing such a thing, of doing the survey? Why would any company want to know how it is ranked by its peers in terms of access, innovation, and indeed utilization of IT?
I think the idea is to encourage innovation and also encourage networking. It is through networking that we get a lot of productivity, we get a lot of developments in the industry. We're encouraging, for example, the youth to come up with applications, the applications that can be used in the industry. So these are some of the highlights that the survey brings out, success stories. And through these success stories, adoption across the board in these industries is encouraged. So the key thing is to encourage innovation from a grassroots level, from the youth, to the point where industry appreciate new technologies that are coming into the market.
With the networking perspective that you just put out, do you think that is a proper platform for commercialization of the applications that we are talking about? Because even when students and indeed other people do go out there and create applications that can be used in industry, the bridge between them and the industry that can buy or indeed commercialize those applications is currently still a bit lacking.
Yeah, I think precisely you said it, because what is lacking is that window to actually showcase innovations that are coming up. And this is actually an excellent opportunity for showcasing these applications. And again, this is a consumer-based event where people are showcasing what is happening, unlike traditionally where you get a supplier-driven event where people come in and try sell products to the industry. So I think it's very interesting, and I think it's an exciting one. We had one last year, and I think the momentum has definitely snowballed. Yeah.
So this is an annual event. So maybe you can just take us through the process. What exactly happens from start to finish when you do start the survey and when the convention does go to a close? What is in between?
Now, it starts with the survey. The survey, of course, is a questionnaire, which, of course, anyone willing to submit, does the entry. The entry has various stages. It's rated differently depending on what project or product you want to showcase. Through that, we have it's East Africa, I forgot to mention, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi, Tanzania, of course.
Yes.
And, so when the surveys come in, we have a set of judges who sift through. Last year we had about 250, 260 applicants. Sift through, come up with the top 100 projects that they think are most viable, most interesting.
Yes.
This is what we showcase in the two-day symposium that takes place in November. Yeah.
So every person who's in the 100 gets an opportunity to go out there and explain themselves and indeed show how they've benefited or otherwise.
The symposium we try to cover the symposium on a thematic level, where we say the energy sector, we get the top 5 or 6 energy projects that we think are worth showcasing, and of course who have been judged to be the most top in the industry. So each sector is represented: the financial sector, the tourism sector,
yes.
And what is most interesting is there's always ICT comes out as a cross-cutting across the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, something interesting about the IT is basically that while it might be something that creates lots of efficiency and indeed has benefits for industry, there are other perspectives who look at it and say that this is costing us jobs. Because if you look at a lot of various plants a few years back, hundreds and hundreds of people hauling stuff, doing lots of manual stuff in there. But today, that having been whittled down by automation and utilization of IT, it seems to be two-sided here.
I think it's worked for, I don't know about other countries, but I think it's worked for Kenya very much so, because right now,
yes.
Kenyan's strength is the human resource. There's a lot of talent out there.
Yes.
There's a lot of unemployment, and this is one of the opportunities that are there for the youth who are coming up to engage in application development.
Yes.
I think by and large, Kenya today is seen as a hub for ICT development based on the recent developments that have happened. International organizations have set camp here to represent, the offices across Africa. So I think it's the right time. It's for us to harness those opportunities and create jobs and opportunities. Yeah.
What kind of uptake are you expecting this year? Having given us the statistics for last year, what sort of appreciation do you expect this time around?
We expect a lot more than last year, because last year, of course, was the first year. There was a lot of wait and see. There's a lot of enthusiasm. People who did not participate last year are on board. People who participated last year are bringing us new projects. As I said, it's an opportunity for peers to actually sit and appreciate some of these new innovations that have come up. And IT is evolving. IT is dynamic. It will always be cutting edge and very interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, an interesting thing about innovation is that different people are at different levels. We have the laggards and we have the people who are really quick at taking up things. Does this provide an opportunity to showcase such innovation to people who might find it useful afterwards, especially knowing that the level of uptake in other markets is different? Would you be able to bring something that is already happening in the US, Hong Kong, or other markets and be able to showcase to potential investors in Kenya?
Yes, that is one of the things we're planning to do this year. One of the things we want to do this year is actually bring key industry captains who are recognized worldwide, who can actually come and share with the local peers here on how they've leapfrogged for those in India and how they have adapted ICT in the same level, at the same level. Again, what encourages us is the fact that a lot of people who are setting camp here are actually bringing a lot of expertise, and there's a lot of absorption. It's actually now making it industry friendly, environmentally friendly to this current market. Yeah.
Not many people understand that IT, or indeed information management, is central to many organizations. For many people, it's actually support. They say that these are either support staff, this is support infrastructure. What would you say to mainstreaming IT such that first you have representation at board level, and indeed it's cross-cutting across the whole organization such that you're rated as important as everyone else?
Yeah. I think that's a very interesting question, because when I look at the history of the IT manager, and that's why we call it CIO. Nowadays it's called CIO because he's at the C level, he's at the board level, so he's able to make key decisions or help management make key decisions. Because gradually, as you notice, the IT budget is growing bigger and bigger. It's becoming more important in organizations. It's no longer having one computer sitting in a desk.
Yes.
It's actually making IT work. A lot of people, and even at the symposium, will come and see how IT or innovation in IT has helped organization achieve their bottom line. So some of this sharing of experiences, and even getting the skeptics who have not actually invested in IT in their businesses, get an opportunity to see this. They get an opportunity to see things, IT that has worked for the industry, whichever they represent. Yeah.
Let's talk about IT and SMEs and indeed micro enterprises, and the fact that Most people out there, especially outside our larger towns and cities, are not usually able to utilize IT, either because of challenges of power or access, or even maybe they can't even go on the internet, although today we do have mobile phones. What would it take to convince these people, especially when you say, for example, standardization of production? Yes. If you have to produce 3 identical GCOs, you need something that is computer run so that you get the right standards. Most people still insist on doing it the traditional way. There is the issue of costs, there are issues of penetration and access. What do we do about those?
Well, I'd say the issue of penetration and access has been an industry headache in terms of challenges on how to penetrate. Everything traditionally has been settled in the cities, be it in Kampala or Uganda, and Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. However, these are some of the areas we'll be looking at the symposium. Again, put our minds together, see what's the best way to penetrate and create accessibility into the rural areas. We know that accessing the rural areas is the next big thing for us, and we have companies that have proved that. So this forum also puts our minds together and gets us to think now on how to move to the next level as far as expansion into the rural areas.
Public-private partnership has become a catchword almost everywhere. What exactly is the government's role in all this? Because knowing some of the things we're talking about, like access, is something that government has been trying to tackle for indeed a long time. How is government taking part so as to be able to say that they have done their bit in sensitization, education, and of course, knowing that infrastructure is actually something that is supposed to be a service for all? Yes.
I think government, again, when I look at it historically, we've come a long way with them. They are listening to us. They are supporting this event through the ICT board. And one of the things I've realized is they're encouraging a lot of SMEs who are actually doing their small projects in their own way to actually enter into this survey. Again, this survey, to clarify, does not look at the big organizations alone. It cuts across the entire divide, to people doing interesting things at a rural level. Again, it's innovation driven and business value. That is the key word.
Yeah, finally, what is your word, your final word to the people who are watching, and what can they expect from CIO 100?
For me, my word is look out for excellent innovation. This country has very good talent. I'd encourage for those organizations who have not entered into this survey to do so, and come and show us what you're doing, and it's an opportunity for excellence recognition.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. That was indeed Mr. Andrew Karanja, he from CIO East Africa Director, and indeed being in studio to engage us on what exactly is happening in the IT sector and the move towards more networking and indeed integrating IT and information management technology into organizations. That is why we do call it a day on KTN Financial Markets Live today. Do join us again during the evening session for KTN Business Today, and tomorrow at the same time for more on KTN Financial Markets Live. Do have yourselves a good afternoon. My name is Peter Wakaba.